so much of him.
You mean Brad?
My brother, actually. Though now that you mention it, it reminds me of Brad too.
You're the newcomer, ain't you? Nora Camarillo. I keep folks alive around here. You know, you're lucky they found you when they did. Your friend was pretty bad. Pretty much. Any part of your flesh prison breaks down, you come to me. There ain't much I haven't seen before. Yeah, that's how my grandpa used to talk. He loved that idea that we're all beautiful souls walking around in dilapidated meat suits. Ain't much science for it, he'd say. But damn if it isn't hilarious. Asking questions is the only way we learn, as my grandpa used to say. Came here maybe 10 years back. My ma had died and Grandpa didn't feel safe carting me around the countryside by himself. It turned out good. The city's full of scrounge, and Grandpa made a living selling bandages and meds while treating folks for free. I do the same. He even attended the old commander when she passed. Couldn't do much for her except ease her going, but folks around here thanked him for it. Made us part of the ward and all. What are you trying to say, Sunshine? Well, listen, newcomer. You know a better doctor, you go see her. Until then, I'll take care of you and your friend the best I know how. You know how a doctor gets good at her craft? Partially, yeah. Also, by getting things right once in a while. You learn a thing by doing it over and over again. For me, that means people who need my help. The more people there are suffering, the better I get at healing them. And Sunshine, I'm the best damn doctor for miles. My grandfather, he'd been treating folk his whole life, nearly as long as the root's been around. I started assisting Grandpa when I was 5. Dressing wounds, making meds, cutting at the table, you name it. He was. He helped more people in his long life than you and I have ever even met. But how I helped him most was digging through the old hospitals. Even after a century, there's a hell of a lot to find. All of it useful to someone as clever as Grandpa. Huh, tons. The old humans knew a lot about the human body, it turns out. Stuff even Grandpa didn't know. Did you know they used to be able to replace a man's lungs with someone else's? Or put a dead man's liver in someone whose liver didn't work anymore? To think of all the folks Grandpa and I could have saved if we had that kind of know-how. There's plenty if you know what to look for. Most of the basic meds are long gone, but there's still plenty of specialized tools and ingredients there. Stuff no one knows what to do with but me and my grandfather. What they don't got, what I never found once, is a cure for root rot. That's why so many folks died when the root first showed up. Grandpa had to invent a treatment on his own. A treatment, not a cure. He probably wasn't the only one. I'm sure others came to the same solutions independently. But after Grandpa figured it out, he traveled as far as he could and taught it to everyone he met. I don't know where he started, but I reckon every treatment within 100 miles of here is derived directly from his work. You can thank him that your friend is still alive. All right. What you need?
Looking for Ford? He's over in the warehouse. Sure, he's got something going on. Always does.
I don't trust that Wallace. But Brabus says he lives, so he lives. If you want to talk to him, he's over at the docks.
That Donald. Always talking about getting out of here, sailing the sea.
Hey there, stranger.
Yeah, you'll never catch me on a boat.
You sound so much like Brad sometimes.
Ford? Oh, wish I had half the wherewithal of that old man. He's got no qualms about, like, leaving town at the drop of a hat. Anyway, if you're looking for him, he's over in the warehouse.
Well, ain't you a right mutter? Traipsing in here like you own the place. Ha, I'm just pulling ya. Name's Brabus, and I run security around here. Well, seeing as you got the mayor's personal approval, I reckon you his problem now. I also make sure folks hereabouts can protect themselves. Ain't just the root kicking around. A lot of folks still ain't chummy with this whole rebuilding society business. I should know. I used to be one of them. Up until about 20 years ago, I ran a pack called the Mud Dogs. We took what we wanted and killed anyone who crossed us. It was a dog-eat-dog world back then. We all did what we had to survive. Things might be different now. But a lot of folks can't chew a path out of the old ways. Maybe never remember. The choices you make out there can come back to haunt you, believe me.
This is not up for discussion, Clementine. You're staying, and that's final.
I don't remember asking for your permission.
Watch your tone, young lady.
Excuse me? I'm 132 years old, in case you forgot. And I am not your child. You don't have authority over me.
On this, I do. This town needs you. You can't go wandering off after something that might not even exist.
Oh, that's rich. What have you been doing the last 100 years then, huh? What the hell are you doing right now?
Well, that's different. I'm trying to fix things.
things that you broke when you tried to play God.
That was Harsgard. I was just following orders. I didn't...
Oh, and that makes it okay? You know how many people died because you just followed orders?
Of course I know. You think I don't remember that every goddamn day? I'm trying to make things right here.
So am I. You're such a damned hypocrite, Ford. If I leave, it's my fault. But you didn't break the world. You didn't run after a pipe dream. You didn't abandon your family a dozen times over.
Look, I've made a lot of mistakes. I admit that. But it's because of those mistakes that I'm telling you not to do the same thing.
Well, forgive me if I don't want to take advice from the men who fucked up the world in the first place. I'm not your dreamer anymore. Maybe I've got my own mission.
These people need you, Clementine. You're too important to just...
Every person out there is capable of taking care of themselves. This isn't about them. It's about you. You've always run away from your problems, but you won't let me run toward something. What are you so goddamned afraid of?
Of losing you, losing them, losing everything.
I've already lost everything! You took it from me. You, Neville, Harsgard. The whole goddamned project. I don't belong here. I never did. I'm tired of pretending I do.
Look, you put yourself through a lot today. You're tired. Get some rest, huh? Things will feel better tomorrow.
You know how I used to look up to you. The way you seemed strong enough to save the world. Except I've already saved it, haven't I? And what have you done?
I can't let you go near that place, Clementine. That's an order.
You haven't learned a damned thing, Ford. Out of my way.
I swear to God and my mother. Did Bo send you over here, or did you stumble your way over here yourself? Well, if there isn't a first time for everything. All right, new kid. Let me save you some time. I'm McCabe. I like to keep to myself and my work. My work happens to be tinkering and modding weapons. And that's already more information than I like giving out. Understand? Look, it's not personal. I just don't like being distracted. I get into a zone, you know? Pisses me off when people come by and interrupt my me time. But I'll tell you what. You're clearly not the average stray that shows up here. So I'll make you a deal. You find anything interesting out there, bring it back to me and I'll see if I can use it to mod your weapons. Okay? Oh, and if you tell anyone I was nice to you, I will cut you. This better be good. Okay, that's all you get. Bye now.
Oh, friend. Glad to see you're all right. What can I do for you? Briggs, and no worries. There was a time when helping each other survive was all we had left. Around here, we don't forget those days if we can help it. Your friend's gonna be all right, by the way. I've seen weaker pull out of worse. What were you doing out there? You don't mind me asking? Really? What'd you hear exactly? Well, you found it. That's what these folks were for me, anyway. Couple times over. They'll do for you too, if you've got the hands and heart to join them. Given how you've been watching over the little scuffler in the med bay there, I'd say you'll feel right at home. You know where to find me.
Hey, stranger. Can't talk now. Hey, stranger. Can't talk now. Don't you worry. We'll make sure your friend's fed as soon as she's well enough to eat. Oh, traveler. How's everything? Lots of nice folks here. Talk to them, you'll see. If you need anything, you know where to find me.
We'll talk about this later. Not now.
Whoa, what have we here? Ah, the Traveler, of course. Wallace said yes. Right on time. Sorry you had to see that. But then again, you've been around. I'm sure you know. Families fight. Andrew Ford. Good to make your acquaintance. In the flesh. I'm sure you've got a lot of questions, and I've got a favor to ask. So let's get to it. You first. That's a longer story than I can indulge right now. Let's keep it to this. You know how some things you drink can make you drunk, and some things you eat can make you sick or sleepy? Well, other things do this. It's a big world out there. It's a great answer, just not a full one. Let me see if I can get you up to speed. Arguing's not the same as fighting. Clem and I have known each other longer than anyone else here. That's a lot of water to put under a narrow bridge. Looks can be deceiving. In fact, she's 132 years old. She was 16 when I first met her, over a lifetime ago. But she hasn't aged a day since. You see, Clementine, she's forever young. Height of hormones, height of feeling, height of hurting. I'm sure you remember yourself. Or if not, that little scrapper you came in with brought it all back to you. Compared to who? Vo might be young, but he knows the run of a ward. Learned from the best. He was orphaned, just a kid. Ward 13 sort of adopted him. Ran security when he got old enough. Did a damn good job of it. Only made sense to put him in charge once we started up here. Wallace? He's a special kid. A lot like somebody I used to know. She had bad dreams too. Dreams about things that hadn't yet come to pass. It's more like he can see really far into the present. Sometimes. Don't think there's a soul in town has lost as much as Riggs. Don't know how that man gets up out of bed every day. But he does. And we're damn thankful. Okay? Not you precisely, as in name, rank, serial number. But I knew someone was coming. Our young Wallace told me. Oh, nothing too dangerous. I've got to marshal my resources. And then we'll get into it in earnest. All right, Traveler. Now that you've shot your shot, here's mine. I need an able young scrapper to help an old man out. Talk to Wally. You'll find him out by the docks. After that, gear up, and then meet me at the ward gate. I'll tell you a story.